this video I'm going to leave up for a while, because I might want to look at this 3, 4, 5 years from now when the next piece of shit hits the fan and we go through this kind of crap all over again. Maybe the next one will be a nuclear war or a foreign attack or another terrorist event. Who the hell knows? But I was in an airplane crash in 2004, which landed me in ICU for 3 months and a nursing home for 10 months. Get both my knees replaced and a right ankle fusion, which failed and broke twice. So I'm permanently living with a inoperable broken right ankle. If you can imagine what that feels like on a regular basis. Early onset arthritis, to say the least. But anyway, enough to keep me from sleeping 7-8 hours a night. This whole, regardless of that, it's been, since I survived that, living through this pandemic business has been a very, very interesting experience. Because being from New York, I always knew that people had a few screws loose, and people not from New York that would say that we have a few screws loose, and they got a point. But nothing, no human behavior that I've witnessed in my lifetime even comes close to this shit. For instance, I mentioned this in an earlier video, which has since been taken down. The absolute need to go run and grab all the toilet paper that you could scarf up in every store imaginable made no damn sense to me. That is not priority. Hey, for one thing, you know, if you go to, say, a Burger King or a McDonald's and you grab a burger, whatever you grab, there's a good 10, 15 napkins in the bag with anything you buy in drive-up junk food places. So, of course, you can use that if you have to. It'll flush just like toilet paper. So there was no reason to scamper after 30, 40 rolls of toilet paper when fast food throws napkins at you like there's no tomorrow. And, you know, since the shelves went empty, there was no food in the store. I never saw that before. I've seen it on the news for hurricane situations, but in this particular case, I never personally witnessed that. No food in the store, so what are you going to do, eat the toilet paper? It made no sense to me. But the one thing I observed with this nonsense, this insanity, is that the homeless were completely tuned out from this whole situation. Now, years back, I broke up with my fiance after 7 years, and I just decided, I spotted these two homeless, older, 60-plus gentlemen living on the side of a highway in New York, either in cardboard boxes or under tarpaulin, whatever. And I figured, what the hell? I got nothing to do. Let's see if these guys need anything. Well, one thing leads to another, and next thing, they're living in my apartment for the winter. To the great dismay of the landlord, I got thrown out with them. I will never do that shit again. But it was an interesting learning experience in that not only are they completely tuned out from society and the culture, and they don't know what the hell is going on, but they will, anything related to food, that's the one thing they will take and they will grab behind your back is food. If they see food laying on a table or on a counter, an apple, a hard-boiled egg, they'll grab it. They'll grab it right out of your hands. For the true homeless that really don't have access to food, that is their priority, and that's a valid priority as opposed to liquor or cigarettes or drugs, although they got that priority too from what I've witnessed. But I spent this past winter down outside of Phoenix in Arizona. Outside of Phoenix, not in the city. I was in a park playing around with a drone and screwing around with these stupid videos on this laptop with totally different subject matter other than coronavirus. I was trying to make a video. There's a guy pulls up next to me in one of the Ramadas next to me, a picnic table there. He's on a racing bicycle. The guy's got legs, like spindle legs, like a runway model. He's gonna be in his mid-50s with a backpack on. And one thing leads to another conversation, and I find out that the guy used to work for Boeing in aircraft assembly, and his marriage went bad. He couldn't save that. He lost his job at Boeing, and he's been on that damn bicycle pedaling around Phoenix ever since. I didn't ask him how many years, but judging by the look of the guy and his tan, it had to be a good number of years that he'd been out on the street living that way. But anyway, I said to him, well, I got an extra $5 bill here next to the glove box. You want it? Oh, yeah, I could use $5. Son of a bitch didn't even say thank you, I see the guy like a month later at Walmart. Hey, you remember me? No, fuck off. I'm like, oh, I hope you enjoyed your $5, you son of a bitch. I met another guy in a park whose wife was a nurse, and they were living in a van. They threw a queen-size mattress in there. They were sleeping on that, and they had it on top of a bunch of milk boxes. And in the milk boxes, they had all kinds of food and snacks and beverages and smokes and liquors and all kinds of things that they wanted or needed, or wanted really, to live on as their supply. And I think they went about collecting all this stuff before the coronavirus madness came into effect. They already had their stuff accumulated in their van. Well, I've since went to northern Arizona, to a smaller town, because I wanted my stimulus check forwarded here from Texas. I got a P.O. box in Texas. I didn't feel like driving to Texas. Texas is crazy. Texas is a great place if you're into wild nymphomaniac blondes who double as escorts online. Like to get drunk and like to get raped on Saturday nights. You can find plenty of that shit down there, but it gets old after a while. You can't build a relationship with a female like that. You can have a good time, but you can't build a relationship with her. Nor is she trustworthy. So I come up to this small town to get my stimulus check, and lo and behold, 3 weeks after coming up here, this guy walks up to me outside of the library here. I'm sitting here using the Wi-Fi. And he says, hey, remember me? I says, yeah, what are you doing here? Where's your van? Oh, I left it at my place. There's a property that I usually camp out at. I left it there. We came up here in the car because my wife got transferred up to the hospital up here. I said, well, it must be a really small hospital because I can't find it. It must be hidden way in the back of town someplace. I don't know where the hell it is around here. But I says to him, did you get your stimulus check? Joe, I don't want one of those. I says, what? Why not? Well, you got to pay it back. I said, what are you talking about? Well, the government. I can't trust the government. I got to pay. They've been looking for me for years. I said, why are they looking for you? What, do you have a record? I don't want to talk about it. So apparently he's got a record. I says, I know you got a radio in that car. It's on NPR all day long. They've been constantly repeating it over and over and over again on just about every radio station. Don't forget to go on irs.gov and enter in your mailing address and your social security number to get a tax-free check for $1,200. He goes, what? I says, yeah, everybody got the minimum is $1,200. Anybody with a social security number that's over 18, you get a $1,200 check. Well, you got to pay it back. I says, when's the last time you done a tax return? No, I don't do taxes. I don't declare anything. If I get work, I get for cash. I do handyman work. I says, yeah, well, you know that a single person's deductible is $11,200 a year? Well, what does that mean? So it means if you make less than $11,200 a year, you don't owe any taxes, period. You don't pay any income taxes if you make less than $11,200. And I says, judging by your filthy clothes that you were wearing down near Phoenix a month and a half ago, you're wearing the same damn clothes, I'd fathom a guess that you haven't paid taxes or made much money in years. I said, couldn't you have used the $1,200? Well, I don't trust the government. I don't need it. So what are you, independently wealthy? Yeah, I might be. I says, well, the two of you sleep in the car or the van, so you can't afford a motel. You don't look independently. Well, the least thing you could do is own a shirt with buttons on it. Which this guy's wearing the same T-shirt. Like all 3 times I've seen him between the end of February through mid-May. Same damn shirt and the same damn raggedy, holy pants. And all I can figure, supposedly his wife being a nurse, is that he was basically just hanging around with her just to live off of her, which I find personally disgusting. I don't go in for that living off a woman bullshit. If you're literate and you can read and write, you should be able to at least produce a product you can sell online, minimally. I know people who are autistic who are eBay sellers and make a damn nice living. They're selling whatever the hell they can hawk on there, but at least they're doing something with themselves. Based on what I've experienced in life, I have no sympathy for the homeless people. There was another time outside of Phoenix, I was at a different library down there using the Wi-Fi, and there was a guy hanging outside there on a regular basis. He'd get up off the bench, go around the side of the building to the smoking area, have his 3 puffs off a cigarette, put it out, put it back in the pack. He'd go back and read his Stephen King mystery book, put the book down, go around the side of the building, have another 3, 4, 5 hits of his cigarette, put it out, put it back in the pack, go back and read his Stephen King mystery book again. Watching this guy, he's going back and forth like 10 or 12 times doing this shit with 1 cigarette. And I mentioned to him, this was earlier, this was towards mid-March, I says to him, hey, I don't know what your situation is. It seems like you could use $1,200. Did you know that? And I started telling about the stimulus. Oh, I don't know. Well, I don't have an address. Where do you sleep? Oh, I'm in the desert. On what? Oh, I got stuff. I got a bed. Blah, blah, blah. People keep coming to the library and dropping food off for you. Do you think maybe one of them would be nice enough to lend you a mailing address that they could receive the check for you and give it to you the next time they come over here with your dinner every other night? Oh, I don't want to bother them. I said, dude, it's $1,200. You're sleeping in the friggin' sand. It's tax-free, and even if it was taxable, you wouldn't be paying taxes if that's all the income you got for the year. You don't need that to worry. Oh, I don't trust the government. Same shit over and over again. The government's out to get me. They've been trying to get me for you. I says, yeah, I can see that. Everybody's out to get you. You're up and down the sidewalk every day for the last 2.5 years. You're outside of the library all day long looking for cigarettes, and you got nothing to eat. I can tell that the government's after you. That's why you're wandering loose all day and night long. They're fucking nuts. They're crazy. There's a passage in the Bible, the meek shall inherit the earth. I hope it's not them, because they can't fucking think straight. The only people that the government's after are people with fucking money. They want to know how you got it, what you did, and how much do you owe us. Those are the people that the government's after. If you're homeless and you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it through, nobody gives a shit about you, including your own fucking family. So, as far as these homeless wackaloons and their fucking insane paranoia, there's nothing you can do with them. Because like I said earlier, I had 2 of them living in my apartment with me for a winter, which was a nice learning experience for me. But they're all fucking nuts. And there's nothing even if the government says free money, free $1,200, they still don't fucking wake up. They still don't come out of their insane stupor that they're living in. Oh, Jesus talks to me, and yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I've experienced things like that too, but I don't let it control my existence. You gotta put it in perspective and take it with a grain of salt. If you can't function properly in life, these people should be in a shelter or a center somewhere where they can be fed and medicated, and that's it. And take them off the street. You can't even give these people money, free money. That's how fucked up they are. That's the one thing that I learned about the coronavirus. The only people that won't catch it and aren't affected by it are just not tuned into what's going on. They're not listening to the radio. They heard about coronavirus, but what does it have to do with me? There's free money from the government, but what am I going to do with it? No, that's it. Homeless people are never going to change. You're never going to fix them. You can only change yourself. As far as the insanity around the grocery stores and stuff, I don't understand human nature. I do not understand what the priorities were and why those priorities came into play with respect to this. It didn't make any damn sense to me. Later.